Let's talk about navigating the second trimester as a business owner from someone who is pregnant for the very first time while also running a full-time business. But first, if you're new here, hi, my name is Lauren Simpson. I'm helping you maximize your time and talents as a growing small business owner, so make sure to subscribe for new videos every week. So at the time of filming this, I am about 29 weeks pregnant, so I'm officially in the third trimester. The second trimester is when everybody talks about how good you feel, how much more energy you have, and that it's going to be the best trimester of your whole pregnancy. Typically in the first trimester, you're really run down, you're really nauseous, throwing up, going through it, just trying to get by. And then in the third trimester, you're getting bigger, you're getting slower, you're getting more tired again. Sometimes the nausea comes back. So that second trimester is supposed to be this time of like bliss. Spoiler alert, it was not that blissful for me. Now that I'm in the beginning of the third trimester, I can see how I probably did have the most energy that I'll have during this whole pregnancy, but I definitely wouldn't call it like Energizer Bunny energy. It's not like it was day and night from the first trimester. I still was pretty tired. I still was taking naps when I could, you know? And for me, the second trimester is when pain started to become much more prominent. I started seeing a chiropractor for it actually, which I have never done in my life, but it's been life-changing now. We're talking the sciatica pain, the round ligament pain, the general stretching of your belly pain, hip pain, lower back, just everything was flaring up very quickly and aggressively. So for me, that's kind of what took over a lot of the second trimester, and I guess you could say put a little cloud over it. So here's a few things that I learned of how to navigate the second trimester while I was running a full-time business and dealing with all of these new symptoms. So once again, giving myself some grace for life to happen was really important. Like I said, I still was dealing with exhaustion, so there definitely were days where I wanted to be more productive, but I did have to prioritize laying down, resting, giving my body a break every now and then. So if I had a block of time during the day, a lot of times, me being me, I'd be like, cool, what can I get done in this block of time that is pretty much free time, but I can be productive. I can get ahead with this task, or I can catch up on this task. So instead, I had to sometimes be okay with not catching up on tasks and just prioritizing my well-being. And once again, balance was key because now I was incorporating going to the chiropractor sometimes several times a week. So I had to have kind of blocks of time for that. And then you mix in if you have some naps, or you mix in where you have just some bad days. So I had to balance taking care of myself physically, emotionally, and my whole well-being along with running the business. So obviously if there were booked clients, that was the priority. You know, that was getting done at all costs unless an emergency happens. So sometimes I don't have clients until the evening. Sometimes we don't start until 4 or 5 at night just because the rest of the team needs evening time slots to work after regular work hours. So that means I have the rest of the day to work or to rest or to do a kind of mixture of that. And what I found would really be helpful for me, because if I have evening clients and I'm not getting home until 9 or 10 at night, it makes for a very long day because I still wake up early in the morning and I still want to be productive because I have that burst of energy in the morning. So what I would find is that balancing it with a break in the middle of the day was really helpful. So say I'd have like a really good work period from like 8 or 9 in the morning to like noontime or 1, and then I would kind of lay down and rest, or I would eat some snacks or watch a couple shows in the middle part of the day, in that like early afternoon part, and then I would get ready and I would go to the studio for our clients in the evening. Before pregnancy, I was the type of person that would probably work that entire day from like 8 in the morning to like 8 at night, and just try and bust out everything that I could. But I had to be reasonable with myself. That is probably not good, honestly, for anybody for an extended period of time, but especially being pregnant, I really just didn't want to overdo it. And I also wanted to be able to deliver for my clients later that night and not be completely wiped. Something else that really helped me in this trimester, because again, this is when I started to really start showing and the stomach is actually growing and this is like really real. was taking on less physical tasks where I could. So, for example, at home, I usually was the one to take out the trash, and then my husband was the one to take it in. But now he's just taking it out and in both times. It's just one of those things that makes my life a little bit easier. I don't have to kind of stretch weird carrying it behind me. Sometimes the pails can get really heavy and we're going down a driveway. That's one of those things I could like take off my plate. And then in a professional sense, he will help bring my kit into the car at home. So it's one less time I have to pick it up. And then he also takes it out of the car when I get back home. Because I do have a couple sizable makeup kits that when I do go out to work, whether it's I'm bringing it to the studio, I'm going to a wedding, etc., I obviously am responsible for those when I'm out and about. And so it's just one less trip I have to make with these heavy things, therefore hopefully helping with the pain levels. And also in regards to pain and moving the body, I have realized how much more careful you have to be moving your body in general, and especially when you're lifting or putting things down that are sizable or heavy. So for example, we're doing a lot more squatting rather than bending at the waist now, and especially using my legs and my knees to pick up stuff. Like even my kit that I carry on my back, it's a pretty sizable one, and a lot of times I put it on the floor under a table or something like that when I'm working somewhere, and so I have to go and pick it up again. And I just have to be very careful how I'm doing that, because again, it's very easy to like pull something or just be in more pain now than I ever was before. I also get out of breath a lot. So obviously, if your business is not as physically demanding as mine, you may not have these challenges, but trust me, I know how many jobs and businesses there are out there that do require physical labor, and it's not necessarily something you can just altogether stop once you become pregnant, so I get it. So I do think I'm going to continue this as a little mini series on this channel. I do intend to do a navigating your business in the third trimester type video, which is going to be fascinating because at that point that means I will have a child. Oh my gosh. And then maybe even about the fourth trimester, which is that first 3 months with the baby, and how that kind of works with like a maternity leave and still being present for your clients somehow while you're recovering. So make sure to stay tuned for those videos, and if you haven't already, make sure to check out how I navigated the first trimester in pregnancy to see kind of how they mirror together between that and this trimester, and I'm really interested to see how it continues from here.